Hey everyone, this is Stanislas David, your tech high priest. In our journey to take you from zero to hero and to make you very rich with computer or information technology, I'm going to teach you something very, very important. It's the basic units of computers, the basic units of computer storage measurement. And we're going to talk about the values like the bits, the bytes, the kilobytes, the megabytes, the gigabytes, the terabytes, and the petabytes. I want to tell you what these values mean. If you've not heard them before, it might look surprising to you and a little maybe too techy, but I want to promise you it's very, very easy. And your priest is going to hold your hand and teach you this stuff. So let's start. So, first of all, the first thing I wanted to know is that computers work in a very different way from the way we humans work. They work with just two numbers, ones and zeros. Those are called binaries. Either it's a one or it's a zero. It's like most things in life: love and hate, like and hate, or on and off, life and death, kind of that stuff. So it might treat a zero like an electric, like no impulse, and then a one like an electric impulse, right? Like an electric signal. So that's how computers work. With two numbers, remember this, ones and zeros. And so the computer knows this number. I'm going to take you straight to my whiteboard, and I'm going to explain to you a few things. The computer knows this number. It knows a one and a zero. So a bit is either a one or a zero. We humans work differently. We use base 10 in our counting. For example, we start counting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that's it. 10 numbers. These are the first 10 numbers. From 1, 0 to 9, these are 10 numbers, and we call that base 10. That is how we work as human. But computers don't work like that. Computers work with base 2. So we're going to look at the very first unit of measurement. We're going to start with the bits. A bit is simply a representation of a one or a zero. That's a bit. Now, from bits, we are going to talk about the next unit is bytes. Now, let me hold on a second. If you're in Europe, when you go to the market, you buy some things in grams, right? Kilograms, megagrams, tons. Or if you're in the United States, we start with maybe ounces, pounds, tons, different measuring unit. And so computers work in ones and zeros. And so we are going to get, for binary from these bits, we're going to need 8 of these bits. 8 of these bits, ladies and gentlemen. 8 of these ones and zeros in any combination is going to give us what we call 1 byte. Okay? In computer memory, the smallest memory that can be allocated to something is called a byte. So this byte is 8 bits. So 8 bits with an S give us 1 byte. Okay. Now, after that, we are going to need 1024 bytes. 1024 bytes is going to give us a kilobyte. Give us 1 kilobytes. Remember, we're talking about grams and kilograms. Computer uses kilobytes, okay? 1024 bytes gives us 1 kilobyte. So, this is simply because I will explain. I don't want you to get confused. We'll just keep it really simple. It's just because since computer work, we humans, we do like in the powers of 10. We'll say 10 raised to the power 2, or 10 raised to the power 3. That's how we convert very large numbers. But since it's computer, we are going to use 2 raised to the power 10, and that gives us 1024. I am not asking you to memorize this. I'm just telling you this is how we came out with this number. It's just an easy way of bringing something closer to the 1000 we have in kilograms. So it's just 1024. So we're going to have 1024 bytes is going to give us a kilobyte. And then we're going to have the same 1024 kilobytes is going to give us 1 megabyte. So I'm sorry with my S and everything, it's just a kilobyte, not kilobytes. Okay, 1 megabyte. So a kilobyte can be denoted like KB, and then a megabyte can be denoted MB. Okay, so 1024 megabytes, it's an E, guys. megabytes is gonna give us 1 gigabyte. Okay, so we can call it GB. That's how we abbreviate it. Like when you're going to buy a laptop, they say this laptop is 20 GB, 20 GB. That's just what I mean, gigabytes. Okay, now 1024 gigabytes is gonna give us 1 terabyte, which is like, we just denoted by TB. 1024 terabytes is gonna give us this is my one looks funny, guys. One petabyte. And the list goes on and on. Most of the time, you might never pass several terabytes. I've worked in a company like IBM where I used a bunch of petabytes before, but most of the time you always be around at the terabyte level and 2,000, 3,000 terabytes and all that kind of stuff. So, guys, this is a very, very basic measurement. For example, I'm going to go a little bit practical with you right now. I will take you to my screen and I will share with you what I have on screen. So I'll go here on my screen and let me go to my desktop. If you look at my desktop, I have a picture. I have this resume right here, this picture. I could right click on it and then I could take properties. And look at this, ladies and gentlemen. When I take properties, it tells me the size is 746 kilobytes. And it's converted into bytes, 764,131 bytes. I don't expect you to do all of that math, just know it. So, for example, let me look at the file here. Let's say I go to this file, this directory. I have a bunch of videos in this directory that I publish on Facebook. I right click on this, I'll take properties, and you can see we have 10.4 gigabytes. And then it tells us it converts it to bytes for us. But 10.4 gigabytes, let's say I have a flash drive, a USB drive, and it's only 8 gigabytes. I know because my USB drive is only 8 gigabytes, I cannot transfer all of the contents of this directory or folder into that USB drive because 8 gigabytes is smaller than 10 gigabytes. At most I can put inside is just 8 gigabytes. So that's the basic of computer measurements. So we start with bits to bytes to kilobytes to megabytes to gigabytes and terabytes or petabytes. So we start here again. I repeat again. We start with bits. 8 bits is going to give us 1 byte. 1024 bytes is going to give us 1 kilobyte. 1024 kilobytes is going to give us 1 megabyte. 1024 megabyte is going to give us a gigabyte. 1024 gigabytes is going to give us a terabyte. 1024 terabyte is going to give us a petabyte. It's that easy. I don't want you to memorize any of these things. I just want you to know it. As you get into the world of computers, you're going to deal with these numbers all the rest of your life. Maybe with storage, and sometimes it gets even into networking, where we start talking about megabits instead of megabytes. When we get to networking, I'm going to teach you what that means. But this is very easy, very straightforward. I want you to be comfortable with these. Thank you so much. I will see you at the top. You belong nowhere else except at the top. IT is easy, and I'll walk you there. Thank you. Bye-bye.